Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. On this video, I'm just going to do a super quick tutorial on how to engrave names in pencils. I work with a couple of guys who each had a child going into kindergarten, so I engraved names on pencils for them. And then another lady at work has a young man that was going into first grade. So I told her I'd make him a couple pencils, and that's what I'm going to show you tonight. So the first thing that I want to do is put my product inside the Glowforge so that we can see it on our screen while we're designing. Now the Glowforge has a camera in it, so you are seeing inside the bed of the Glowforge. And what you're seeing are two pencils sitting inside a cardboard, what they call jig, which I also made with my Glowforge. The pencils aren't quite lined up, but that doesn't matter as long as I place the text where I want it. So I'm going to click on the T for text. And this Duru Sands is what I want. And this young man's name is Mason. So I'll just type that and it shows up on my screen. Now I know from doing my other ones that what I want is 0.12 inches high or 12 inches tall. Let's go ahead and blow this up really well so you can see it. And then I need to drag my text down to the other end of the pencil. And I think it should go just about right there. Now I can see that it's running downhill a little bit, so I may need to go move my pencils, but let me go ahead and highlight it. Then I'm going to do copy and paste. And then I have a second word, Mason. And I'll just place it on the other pencil. So I'm going to adjust the pencils really quickly, and then we'll keep going. So right here it did say scanning, and now it's reset itself. So let me go ahead and move this word down a little bit. And then this one looks pretty good. Maybe I'll move it slightly up. Let me show you how you can do that. Let's see, let me change the 6 to a 4, and if you watch that word, it should go up just barely. And it was very, very barely. Let me just delete the 4, make it a smaller number, and there you saw it go up again. Okay, I think this one is pretty well placed now. Let me check this one out. Okay, I actually think that's pretty well placed too. Now I'm using an uncertified material. Glowforge sells its own proof grade materials, and they're wonderful because they have a QAR code on them. The Glowforge reads it and it sets all your settings for you. This isn't certified, so I'm going to go ahead and put the thickness of my pencil, which is 0.27 inches. And I'll submit that there. Then, and look, that's off. So it must have recalibrated. So I'm going to move that up just a tad bit. Well, a little bit more than that. Okay, now I think the bottom one's good. This one can go up just a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good, except it's too close to the eraser. So I can drag it over, and then I'm going to put this back at, well, I don't remember what it was. 9.2? Okay, that looks good. This one still looks good. So it's time to go ahead and enter my settings, and I'm going to be engraving, so I'm going to click on engrave, and then my manual settings, And I'm going to go ahead and use a speed of 1,000. The faster it goes, the less likely you're going to have burn marks. Most materials you put some masking paper over. I have found that with the pencils that's just not necessary. And then I'm going to use a power of 40. Notice there's my height again. And then I want this to be pretty high quality as far as the engrave, so I'm going to go 340. And that's just lines per inch, kind of like dots per inch. Okay, so we're also going to set this one for 1,000 and power of 40. And then once again, I'll do 340 lines per inch. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going to go ahead and say print. Okay, then I also just want to check that everything still looks good because it went through a precision calibration, I believe is what it said. So now I'll go into the other room and we'll start our print. I have this black craft paint and we'll see how this works out. We'll start with one in case I mess it up. I'm just going to put it down in there and then I'm going to wipe it off. Ooh, that's nice. If I can get it off the rest of the pencil. So you see I went down into the wood a little bit, so next time I need to be more careful and probably not use nearly as much as I did. But this little 7-year-old boy is not going to care. Actually, I think he's 6. He is not going to care that there's a slight bit of paint down in this. Obviously, if I were selling these, I would not want to have that at all. Okay, well, it's coming out. Okay, I realized my mic wasn't on, so I may not have sound on that last part, but I want to leave it in so that you see exactly what I did. I'm going to redo it, but I want you to see that it worked out the first time, and I did make the mistake of probably putting a little too much on. Then it got stuck down in the grain of the pencil, so then I took a little bit of alcohol and put it on an old rag and wiped it off, and now it's beautiful. So this time I think I'll actually use not my finger, but rather a handy dandy Q-tip. So I am just going to squeeze a little bit up to the top, maybe. Use my muscles. Okay, let's see if that's enough. Okay, so I'm just going to rub it down in there, and you know what? I think my finger worked a lot better. My finger actually got down into the grooves. So let's go ahead and do the finger again. Yes, that works much better. Then you can wipe some of it off without the alcohol. Get the bulk of it off first. But then you see how some of the paint's left down in the grooves of the wood? I'm just going to spray a tiny bit of alcohol on my rag. And that takes that paint right out of those grooves. So there's my fast little project, but won't that make a 6-year-old smile to see his own name on his own pencils. Now, if you are interested in purchasing a Glowforge, I'll put my link below. By using that link, you can save $100 on the basic model, $250 on the Plus, and $500 on the Pro. I have just the basic model, and it works well for what I use it for. And in addition to you receiving a discount, I receive a referral fee from Glowforge. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. And if you'd like to see what I'm working on in the future, hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Marilyn. Bye-bye.